So welcome to the 4 o'clock on April 28th. We're gonna do a 20-minute AMRAP of 200-meter row, 20 single arm dumbbell hang clean and jerks, and then 20 strict sit-ups. So if you don't have an ab mat, you can roll up a towel and use that for your sit-ups. So 200-meter run, 250-meter row if you're rowing, 20 single arm hang clean and jerks, and then 20 strict sit-ups. Let's start things off with a 200-meter run or a 250-meter row. If you don't know how far that is, it's about 30 seconds out and 30 seconds back. Edwin, I think you and your buddy should switch rowing every round. So he's not the only one with burpees. I'm sweating so bad already. Davis, what kind of dumbbells do you guys have there?
We have it all.
Have it all.
Yeah.
Cool. What are you going to use?
So I'm thinking 40, 35 or 40. Yeah.
35 or 40 will be good. Okay, let's go through 3 rounds here of 10 nice and controlled air squats and 5 push-ups. Yes, those are the movements that you did yesterday. We're going to work some of that soreness out. So 3 rounds, 10 air squats. So our air squat's going to look like this, nice and deep. 10 repetitions, and then you'll turn around and go into a set of 5 chest to the ground push-ups. If you need to modify those from the knees, that's totally fine. So today, the workout, each round takes between 3 and 4 minutes, maybe 5 if you have a pretty heavy weight. So you should be looking to get somewhere between 4 and 7 rounds today, with the majority of people being in the mid-5s. And so take your time through these 3 rounds, 10 air squats, 5 push-ups. Lincoln, if your knee starts to bother, you can go to 10 deadlifts with your kettlebell or something like that. Good, and as we're squatting, we're doing 2 things. We're both driving the knees out and we're pulling the chest up so that we have a nice neutral spine. That's gonna play a crucial role when we start to talk about the hang clean and how that dumbbell is going to hinge us forward, and then we can use our powerful hamstrings and glutes to drive that dumbbell up. But it all revolves around keeping a neutral spine. Three rounds, it looks like we're moving well into the 2nd or 3rd round. This doesn't need to be fast. 10 air squats. So on that air squat, we're reaching the hips back and down, sitting into that nice neutral position. All right. Let's go ahead and drop down into our lizard lunge. So I'll show you what that looks like. We're going to go down into plank and then right foot all the way up to right hand. And we're going to draw circles in the ground here with the hips. We're going for a minute on each side starting now. So if you did yesterday's workout, you did a ton of wall ball shots, a ton meaning 150. And so that it is very likely that your quads and adductors are fairly sore. This is how we can work some of that soreness out. And it's been 25 seconds, so about 30 seconds more. When we do this stretch, we're not looking to get away from soreness. We're looking to find it and lean into it. So really find those areas of tightness, give them some love. In 5 seconds, we're gonna switch sides. 3, 2, 1, switch to the left, and we got hip circles for 1 minute. Thirty more seconds. And go ahead and rest. So who has an ab mat? Does everyone have an ab mat? Yes, Edwin does. Davis, do you guys have an ab mat? You have made up makeshift ones. Joe, you have one? Okay. So I don't want you to go without anything. You need to have something here. Even if it's a towel rolled up, it needs to be about 2 inches thick and about 6 inches wide, so it fits in the small of your back. The reason that, yeah, that's great, Lincoln. Maybe a couple more rolls, a little bit thicker. The reason why that is important is so when we push our low back into the ground, we don't actually do a crunch. We don't want to do crunches here. We want to be able to sit up in that rigid position. And so here's what we're going to do. You're going to lay in front of your ab mat with long legs, and we're going to practice that. So we're going to sit up nice and tall. Notice the difference between this sit up and this sit up. You don't really need to do this big turn. Just sit up nice and tall. So you'll do 10 of those, followed by 10 strict sit-ups. So you can use the arms, Lincoln, here. 10 sit-ups, and then we'll go into 10 strict sit-ups. And on the strict sit-ups, you're gonna grab a little bit of t-shirt, pin the elbows down, and you're just going to sit up. No momentum from the elbows, no karate chopping the air. Lincoln, you might need like a hair tie or something to go around that, or a rubber band. So get your 20 sit-ups. There'll be 10 with the long legs. And then when you go strict, go ahead and butterfly. Should have said that earlier, but good. And way to sit up tall. All the way in Texas, they're sitting up nice and tall on their strict sit-ups. And then if you have one, grab a PVC pipe. And if you don't have one, that's okay. You can put your hands on your hip. We're gonna do 2 variations of good morning. And if you come to tomorrow's class, you're gonna do some Romanian deadlifts. And this positioning is gonna be very important. So slight bend in the knee, and that's all that you get from the knees. Everything else here comes from the hips and we keep the back rigid and neutral. So we don't need to get super low and round the back. We want to stay totally neutral. Go for a 10 that way, and then you're gonna widen your stance, poke your knees out a little bit, and you're gonna do 10 this way, and that's gonna change the angle of your barbell good morning. Change the stretch so that you feel it more in the inner thigh rather than the back of your leg, the hamstring. So 20 total good mornings here. Yeah, Edwin has a band that will work great. Awesome. So when you finish those 20, you can go ahead and put that stick away. You will need it no longer. Does that feel good? Maybe your knees out a little harder. Everyone say hi to my wife, Mandy. She's the one working out behind me.
Hi. Hi, Mandy.
All right. We're going to wrap up our general warm-up with another 200-meter jog or 250-meter row. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and go. I know we don't need to scale this. Edwin, you're on the burpees, bro. What?
On for him.
That's really nice.
Turn me on. If it hasn't turned on, you can just grow and it should go.
Edwin, when you do these 15 burpees, do them like halfway through the workout.
Huh?
Do it like it's halfway through the workout, like you're not going to sprint.
Okay.
I want to see how much longer it takes. Go. You should finish like right about the same time as each other. Dr. Joe, are you at the elementary school?
On my tennis court.
Oh, okay. It looks like a marine science school.
No,
Or maybe it's with the trees. Oh, that's awesome. All right, grab your dumbbell, just a single dumbbell. If you only have one, then you're in luck. That's the one you're going to use today. If you have two, grab the lighter one. So I have a 35 and a 50, so I would grab the 35. Kettlebell is fine. All right, so I want you to pay attention to my low back here. As I hinge into the bottom of my deadlift, my back is totally neutral. I'm not round here, but my tail is up and my chest is up. Go for 5 deadlifts on the right and then switch to 5 deadlifts on the left. Mandy will demo for me for the next couple of movements. Five deadlifts on the right, 5 on the left. After your 5th one, you're gonna pop that up to the front rack and go for a set of 10 goblet squats. So notice how Mandy's holding the dumbbell, squatting to depth. 10 repetitions here. And after your 10th one, you'll put that dumbbell in one hand and you'll go for 5 push press on each side. Dip, drive, and press. Dip, drive, press. Put the knees out. Dip, drive, press. 5 on each side. So today you have the choice of either doing push presses or push jerks. And with the kettlebell, it's a little bit funky, but we'll kind of go over that, Lincoln. So try to keep, you tend to rest the whole dumbbell here instead of just going here. All right. Go back to your ab mat for one more set of 10 strict sit-ups. I'm going to check for strictness here. So feet are butterflied together. There's no karate chopping of the arms, and you're not going to chop with the elbows either. So what happens in the workout when these get really hard? The answer to that is you got to rest a little bit. You can't cheat them because then it's a different movement. 10 strict sit-ups. If you have a long torso and short legs like me, these are grueling. They're brutally hard. I had to break up my set of 20 into 10, couple breaths, and then 10. Lincoln, if you can hear us, your screen is frozen. There we go. Awesome. All right, so when you finish your 10, come up to your screen so that you can see really well. And I want to demo 2 ways that you can cycle this hang clean and jerk. 2 ways you can cycle this. First thing we need to talk about is the hang position. I'm going to show you a couple from the front and then a couple from the side. The hang position is here between the legs with the back neutral. It's not here. We're not dipping with a straight up chest and taking the dumbbell to here. We're going to hinge forward. So I'll show you a couple hang cleans. Hang clean, hang clean. All right, so 2 ways you can cycle this. You can do the hang clean right into the jerk and then bring the dumbbell back to the shoulder, extend your elbow and hang again. So I'll show you some of these from the front, back to the shoulder, extend, hang clean, and jerk. Hang clean, and jerk. The other way you can do it, and maybe this is a little bit more advanced, from overhead, you can let the dumbbell come all the way down into the hang position and then go back into your clean and jerk. So this right here mimics a kettlebell swing, right? So I can catch like a kettlebell swing, but then I'm still gonna need to pop the hip, shrug, and pull under. So let's do 5 and 5 on each side of hang, clean, and jerk. But what I want you to focus on here is catching under the dumbbell so that you can drive it right back up overhead. 5 and 5. Catch it this way. Catch underneath and then go, rather than catching, dipping, and driving. Awesome job. Yeah, nice push jerk, Dr. Joe. You want to push jerk it? So this is what I'm seeing right now, and it's partially good and partially bad. This is very different from a curl and press. So if we were going to curl and press, it would look like this. I would curl and press, and maybe after 10 minutes, my bicep would be so tired that it wouldn't be able to curl this anymore. And that's not the purpose. We want to use high power movements. So think about jumping this dumbbell to the shoulder. Watch the path that it takes. right? The path of this dumbbell is straight up. It's not like that. So try to bring that dumbbell way out in front of you. Does that make sense? So I want you to ask yourself, if you had 20 of these in a row, how would you break them up? With the 50 today, I did 5 on the right, 5 on the left, 5 on the right, 5 on the left for 3 rounds. And then on my last 2 rounds, I had to set it down after 5 and 5. I had to wipe my hands because they were sweaty, and then I had to do 5 and 5 again. So think about that. I want you to have an actual plan. Yeah, good. And then the final thing to consider is on every single rep, that dumbbell should be locked out overhead. And if I give you a profile, you would see that my wrist is over my elbow, it's over my shoulder, is over my hip, right? I'm not leaning back here or letting the dumbbell come way back, but my bicep is by my ear and everything is in a straight line. We have now covered all 3 movements today. We've done some rowing and running. We've done our hang clean and jerks. We have done some strict sit-ups. So if you want to grab a heavier object, go ahead and do that. Keep in mind, it should be something that you can cycle. Cycle meaning you can move rep to rep to rep to rep. Lincoln, are you using kettlebell or dumbbell?
Dumbbell, 45.
A what, 45?
Yes.
Perfect, that would be great. That will be tough. Utilize the push jerk. All right, if you're still practicing, go ahead and rest. You'll have plenty of time to do that. Yep, this is a 20-minute AMRAP. So I'm gonna start the clock. You're gonna have 20 minutes to go through as many rounds as possible. Like I said this morning, the scores were somewhere in between like 4.5 and 6.5 rounds. I got 5 even, but I was also coaching the class. So maybe I could have got, if it was 6 rounds for time, I think I would have done it in about 20 minutes. But in an AMRAP, you tend to let the foot off the gas a little bit. And so I want to encourage you not to do that. So find a pace, especially on the running, that's slightly uncomfortable, not a sprint, but something that's a little bit faster than maybe you'd want to. And that's the good pace for you to go at. And for those of you on the rower, gentlemen, do not sprint on the row. You will burn out your grip and it will be hard to hang on to your dumbbell. 20 minutes is a long time. So you win no prize by being the first one done with the first round. Before we start, I'll give you a couple minutes to get music set up, grab a drink if you need it. But before we turn music on, does anyone have any questions with the workout or questions with the movements or need some modifications? Davis?
So, sorry, yeah. So I was trying the 40 out and I can get like 5 solid ones in a row. And that's pretty much it. Is that good, you think, or should I go with 35?
5 on one side and then switch hands and do another 5?
You can do that, yeah.
You can do that for 20 of them?
For 20, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Cool.
Edwin, 1 sec.
Maybe someone else already asked this and I missed it. Do we alternate each one, like one arm hang clean jerk and then the other? Or
You can switch however you want. In fact, with the 20, you have 25, right?
yeah.
You'd probably be good doing 10 on one, 10 on the other.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep. All right. Looks like we're good to go. So get your music turned on. We're going to go on my clock today. Actually, we're going to go on Mandy's clock today. Do you have the app? All right. 20-minute AMRAP of 200-meter run or 250-meter row, 20 single arm dumbbell hang clean and jerks, and 20 strict sit-ups. This won't be the last time I say this, but keep those sit-ups strict. About 60 reps in, you're gonna want to use some elbow to help you sit up, and we don't want you to do that. Keep them strict. Any final questions? All right, let's get ready to do this. We are going in, we are going in 10. 3, 2, 1, go. 200-meter run. So still drive and then drop. We're doing this. Drive the hip and then go up. And you keep it closer. So you're not getting full extension. So full extension and then underneath. Awesome job, everyone. You're a minute and a half in. Looks like we're on our single arm dumbbell hang clean and jerks. Keep that dumbbell in nice and tight to the body. And then you're just gonna find your pace. Find your pace. Especially on those sit-ups. You don't wanna burn out before we get more than halfway into this workout. We're 2 minutes in, find that pace. Make sure that when you hinge, your back is rigid and neutral. Davis, see if you can't sit up a little bit further. There you go, awesome, nice job. Keep your feet down. All right, Mandy is 1 round down on that second run. Remember, this is a long haul. It's not a short sprint. If you want the short sprint, come tomorrow. Tomorrow is a short sprint, like a 6-minute-er. On your hinge, make sure your hips go back, not just down. Do another weight fly. Just crossed the 5-minute mark. Good. Make sure you lock those dumbbells out overhead. Lock out the elbow. Nice job. We're well into round number 2. Some of us are on round 3. Nice. You know what I mean by jerk? Yeah, you just don't need to. This is the time remaining, by the way. Just counting down, 12 minutes, 20 seconds left. Coming up on halfway. By now you've found that pace that you can maintain. Pull that rope, pull that handle right to the bottom of your sternum and lean back just a bit farther. Yeah, there you go. You got it. Nice job. Lincoln well into round number 3.
Halfway there.
That was the halfway mark. We have crossed over the halfway mark. Nice job on those sit-ups. If you get the urge to start kipping them, just rest a little bit like Davis is doing. Nice. It's great. We have 8 minutes and 27 seconds left. Six minutes and 45 seconds to go. Continue keeping that rigid neutral torso as you hinge on those cleans. We're well into it now. That's an excellent hinge, Lincoln. That's an excellent hang position. Lincoln spotlighted, so let's watch him on these hangs. Good hinge. Woo, all right, Davis, those sit-ups are getting hard. You got it, man. Even if they need to be 5 at a time, that's okay. Four minutes and 30 seconds left. 3 minutes remaining. Final 3 minutes. If you're able to pick up the pace at all, now's the time. Got 3 minutes left. You guys got it. Stay strict on those sit-ups. We have 2 minutes left. The final push. All right, that's the final minute. We got the final minute here.
1 minute.
Thirty seconds left. Here we go. Give it a good push on the rower. 20 seconds, Mandy. Turn around at the end of the street. 15. In 5, 2, 1, time. Nice job. I'll give you guys a minute or so to get your music turned off or down, and then I'll unmute everyone so we can talk. All right, so for those of you who are watching this at a later date, that was our 20-minute AMRAP of 200-meter run, 20 single arm dumbbell hang clean and jerks, and 20 strict sit-ups. Enjoy.